And he's a gunslinger. He likes to get loose, make quick decisions, and he is an elite downfield thrower. You wouldn't expect that out of a guy that's only 5'11", but look for that ball to be launched up a couple of times, maybe even early, like Neil Brown just told to Jimmy.
Well, we covered Baker Mayfield when he was at Oklahoma, had a great year last season as the leader of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First and 10 of the 25 out of the gun. Blake Bay. And he'll throw it deep. It is incomplete at the 45-yard line. That ball intended for Traylon Ray, so West Virginia throwing it on first down. Let's take a look at their offense.
Well, this offense has to replace Zach Frazier up front. Zach Frazier was an elite center for them, an All-American style player, but they feel like they've got another. Wyatt Milam might be a first-rounder. He's got a huge task in front of him here today against this elite pass rush from Penn State. And on the outside, we talked about Jaheim White and C.J. Donaldson, but watch out for Cole Taylor. He's a guy that transferred in a year ago from LSU, and this is a really good player. You know, 35 catches a year ago. I expect that to increase this season.
Second and 10 of the 25. Garrett Green and the Mountaineers on offense. Here's Green. Hands it off. He's got a running lane and a big breakthrough. This time, it's Jaheim White with a burst and a gain 12.
How about this block right here? You get the motion, and there's the block that is able to spring Jaheim White over on this left side. Bam! 81. Terrific block. That's Traylon Davis. Love him in block.
Jaheim White, a freshman All-American. They'll check it down, and a 1-yard gain. Defensively for the Nittany Lions, they're one of the best in the country.
They also have a new coordinator, and the difficulty for new coordinator Tom Allen is going to be to maintain this bar of excellence, Gus, like you talked about. They're one of the best in the country. Abdul Carter, folks, watch him, number 11. This guy on the edge, he's moving from linebacker to defensive end. Very Micah Parsons-esque. Same number, same uniform, maybe the same elite athleticism.
Second down and 9 of the 38 opening series for West Virginia. Green hands it off. C.J. Donaldson this time. Junior out of Miami, Florida. He'll gain 3.
A great matchup for these third downs all game long is going to be Wyatt Milam, the left tackle for West Virginia, number 74. Maybe a first-round talent in next year's draft against Abdul Carter, number 11. I think one of the premier pass rushers in college football. Also, likely a first-round draft pick next spring. And on third down, you've got to make sure that Garrett Green stays upright, and that charge is going to be to 74, Wyatt Milam.
Third down and 6 at the 41. They need to go to the 46 for a first down. Green out of the shotgun, drops it off on the screen. It's caught for Penn State right there. Cole Taylor was open, but he's shot down immediately by Tony Rojas. Keep your eye on number 13, folks. This kid is a baller.
He is, and he's a special player due to his combination of size and speed, Gus. And you saw that speed close on that third down, chopping down Cole Taylor and forcing this punting opportunity. Beautiful series here to open the season for the Nittany Lions.
Caden Saunders is back deep for Penn State. Oliver Strong sends it away. He's knocked down. Let's see. They're caught at the 17. No flag on the play. A 41-yard punt. Neil Brown can't believe it.
Abdul Carter with the pressure. Let's see the contact on Strong. Maybe it was just a karate kick.
AB.
During the 2024 college football season, you'll notice the Bulls take good hands behind the goalpost in all Mountaineer home games. For every field goal and extra point made by WVU, Scholarship Fund. Since 2005, the Good Hands Small Event Program has donated millions to collegiate scholarships at partner schools across the country. Thank you, Penn State, and let's go, Mountaineers.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Last year against West Virginia, Drew Aller made his long-awaited first start for Penn State, and he didn't disappoint, throwing for 3 touchdowns in the Nittany Lions win, over 300 yards as well. And you get the feeling, talking to the Penn State coaches, that this young man is just scratching the surface of what he could potentially do.
I think a big part of this is going to be the new offensive system and their ability to push the ball down the field.
First down and 10 at the 18-yard line out of the I formation, and they'll give it to Singleton. He'll chop his way through and pick up positive yards. Bradley with the tackle. That's a gain 5.
And Gus, the man charged with this change, is Andy Kotelnicki, the new offensive coordinator, comes from Kansas, and this is a guy that wants to be creative. Lots of shifts and movement, giving the defense a lot of stress before the snap, and then on top of that, giving the main guys the ball, the main talent. You're talking about Singleton, Allen, maybe Tyler Warren, the tight end as well.
2nd and 5 at the 23. And they'll give it to Katron Allen this time as he gets his feet going forward. Offensively, let's take a look at the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Up front, they're having to replace 3 draft picks, including first-rounder Olu Fashanu at left tackle. Drew Shelton slides over. He's replacing Olu. They do feel like he is a hell of a player over there at left tackle. Watch out for Harrison Wallace, Trey Wallace they call him. Trey is the guy that they're telling everybody about, talking about he's going to be our #1 guy, our #1 target, in particular down the field.
3rd down and 3 at the 25. Opening series for Penn State. Allen, option, pitches, nicely done. Singleton, 1st down, Nittany Lions. Defensively for the Mountaineers, they return 6 starters.
And they also get healthy at the 2nd level. Their defensive line is experienced and veteran, good size up front. But then at the 2nd level, watch out for Josiah Trotter. He's Jeremiah Trotter's son. He was injured a year ago. He comes back as a redshirt freshman. They're expecting huge things out of number 40, Josiah Trotter. And then in the back end, Aubrey Brooks. He's their best player in the secondary, and he's going to be charged with roaming the middle of the field.
A lot of transfers picked up in the portal. 1st and 10 at the 33. A bobbled snap. Does West Virginia have it? Yes, they do. And we have our first turnover of the game with 10:38 to play in the first quarter. Mountaineers capitalizing on a mistake by Penn State.
Aller was not expecting that snap. It goes right off of his right knee, and he was furious about something. I don't understand what he's upset about. He's still yelling at the officials about something that was going on. You can tell he was not ready for that snap. That's a huge mistake. Got to credit the crowd here at West Virginia. It is loud, but see, he is all over the officials right away, screaming. He is so upset about something that happened in the mechanics right before that snap.
So West Virginia now, for their 2nd series, will start at the Penn State 28-yard line.
Gus, I wonder if he felt like a defensive player was clapping or instigated the snap, something along those lines, because he was so furious right away when he jumped up. not the way that this offense wanted to start, and the officials will go over and take a look at this about something. All I can assume is that something happened before the snap, and then now we'll have to see if the recovery was clean at the bottom of that pile. So a lot to look at here.
All right, we'd like to say and welcome our rules analyst, Mike Pereira. Mike P., what do you think when you look at this?
Yeah, Gus, if something happened before the snap, replay wouldn't be involved. So it must be the recovery of the backward pass. And you can actually see him fall on the ball, but does he have really, because you have control here. You lose the ball, so you don't see it. So you can't tell at that point, you know, whether or not he had secure control of the ball or not. So while they have their new replay center, all the different angles, I'm just not sure that you have the quarterback with the ball long enough to be considered a clear recovery. But that's the decision that they have to make.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
So West Virginia will hold on to the football. Thank you, Mike. We'll talk to you later during the telecast.
Well, this is a huge break for West Virginia, and now James Franklin's going to confer with the officials. Let's see what was going on. So Aller is trying to get everyone set up, and you can see right here he's not expecting the snap, and then all of a sudden the ball is snapped right away. There's nothing that the defense was doing. I didn't see anybody bobbing their head or certainly not making that clapping motion. He's saying there was a clap, but that's certainly not the case based on the video that we just saw. And now, what a great chance here for West Virginia early in this game, Gus.
Shaheem White in the backfield with Green. And now West Virginia bobbles it. Green trying to pick it up, can't get the handle, loose ball. Nittany Lions everywhere, and they say they've got it. So back-to-back turnovers. Penn State gobbling it up. Jalen Reed with the recovery.
Well, it should be noted both of these teams are trying to break in new centers right now, although Brandon Yates, he started the bowl game. That was just a mistimed motion. You saw the motion coming from the right side, and it just hits the player right there in the hip. I can't tell exactly who that number was. It looked like maybe that was Justin Robinson. They're trying to time up the motion with the silent snap count. Green can't jump on the ball, and now Penn State's got the ball back for a first down. Wow.
So both teams making mistakes early on. Nittany Lions will get it back. 10:30 to go, first quarter here at Morgantown. Time for today's game flow, sponsored by Progressive. We're in Morgantown, West Virginia. Couple of fumbles. There were 0 turnovers in last year's Penn State West Virginia game, and we just had 2 in 2 plays. Penn State gained 14 yards on the fumble exchange from their own 33 to their own 47.
Sloppiness here early. Both teams seem to just settle down. A lot of emotions to start this game.
First down and 10 at the 47-yard line. And they'll hand it off. Patron Allen running hard. Allen last year rushed for 900 yards, average 5 yards a carry, gains.
You see the type of pace and creativity that Penn State here tries to flash here.
Second and 6. Penn State going quickly now. Allen goes through his reads underneath that ball behind his intended target, Mari Evans, who they're very high on in Happy Valley.
This is the maturation that has to take place, and it needs to take place very quickly for number 15, Drew Aller. He had an open Mari Evans right there on second down, but he rushed it. He rushed his feet. He jumped at the throw. Now presents a third down. You get more crowd noise, but you've got to calm yourself down as a quarterback and step up and make an accurate throw.
Third down and 6 at the 49 for the Nittany Lions. Singleton motions into the backfield. And they'll hand it off to Allen. No room. He is bottled up and ridden down. No gain. So the Nittany Lions will punt it away.
You know, all I can think there is that James Franklin told new coordinator Andy Kotelnicki, hey, you get within 3, we'll go for it on 4th down. So in his mind, he thought, okay, I got a couple of cracks with my great running backs in order to move the chains. But West Virginia's defense, and more specifically that defensive front, they stood tall. No gain, and Penn State will have to punt it away.
Riley Thompson, their punter, as he backs it up, and he'll punt it away from the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. Preston Fox is the deep man. End over end kick. And into the end zone for a touchdown. No harm, no foul for both teams as West Virginia comes back on the field. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Young man from Tallahassee, Florida. His dad, Charlie, played 5 Major League Baseball seasons and is currently the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen coach. But he chooses not to coach his son, even though he's a coach. He just wants to be a dad and watch his kid go out there and play ball.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what? Garrett plays that way. Isn't there a freedom to the way he plays the game? I just love watching him, his quick decisions. Oh, another bad snap.
But this time Green picks it up. He'll try to make chicken salad, and he's ridden down quickly by Jalen Reed. Maybe a little nervousness for the Mountaineers. That's an 11-yard loss.
I understand they're trying to replace Zach Frazier, but Brandon Yates, number 50, he played guard last year and he played in the bowl game. I did not expect this type of sloppiness out of West Virginia with all this production and experience back. Again, trying to time a motion. That one hits Green right in the hands. He's got to catch that one. As a quarterback, Gus, here's the role that a quarterback plays. You got to be an eraser. You got to erase mistakes around you and make everybody else right. That time, Green's got to catch that snap.
2nd and 21. And offside for Penn State. Vanover trying to get a quick start.
Offside. Defense, number 15, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Amin Vanover, senior from Newark.
At this point, Gus, first team to just calm down and execute some details is gain a huge advantage here early in this game. You can tell the emotions are just far outpacing the details of the game.
No preseason games in college football. 2nd and 16. At the 14, to Green. Maybe another penalty flag coming, no. Jaheim White churning. He'll get up to the 25, gain of 10.
I'll tell you what, after 2nd and 21, you take 3rd and 6 all day long. And so at this point, you got to be aware of the RPO. Garrett Green making a decision, and be aware of the tight end. You've got a tight end that they really love in Cole Taylor.
Green steps up in the pocket, delivers underneath, and it's caught. Hudson Clement with some wiggle after the catch, and he'll gain 20 yards. First down, West Virginia.
Well, I love what Garrett Green does because he's going to move this linebacker. Watch, the linebacker is going to get moved to the field, and what do? You get a little space behind him that you can throw that skinny post to the young Hudson Clement. They really think Clement, as well as Traylon Ray, number 7, are going to take a huge step this year. They were just freshmen a year ago, got great experience. They expect them to be heavy contributors for this passing game this season.
So after the 20-yard grab, West Virginia first down and 10. At their own 44, breathing room now. Jaheim White in the backfield. Green steps up, running with the seam and a first down. And he fumbled it. But this time I think West Virginia jumped on it. Penn State says they didn't. Tony Rojas with the tackle.
Boy, that ball was loose down low. There were a couple of Penn State players, but it looks like the Mountaineers get the bounce. Here's Green trying to spin back, and Gus, there's the contact from KJ Winston. I tell you, this is one of the premier safeties in the country, number 2, with that contact and strip of Garrett Green. But West Virginia, that is a fortuitous bounce there, as they say. They're able to recover and stay on the field.
11-yard gain for the Mountaineers, first and 10 at the Penn State 45. It's been a comedy of errors with both teams to start this game. We still have 6 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. First game of the year. Green, here's the pitch, and it's White. Thomas is blocked, and it looks like he may have the first down. If not, he's close.
I'll tell you, this run game is dangerous. This was a run game, Gus, and I told you earlier, they led the Power 5 in rushing, and they're going against the #1 rush defense in college football. Penn State prides themselves on stopping the run. The problem is right now is Jaheim White is finding the seams. This guy has electric ability. He's only 5'7", but you see the quickness, don't you, Gus? As soon as he finds that seam, bam, he's right upfield.
West Virginia ranked 3rd in the nation last year in rushing offense, averaging 228 yards per game. Liberty was the #1 team in college football. First and 10 at the 35. And another run for the Mountaineers. It's White. And again, a couple. David Lee did years ago. When I was a young sportscaster, Joel, I called the game between Purdue and West Virginia. Mike Allstott was the star running back for Purdue, and Amos Saraway was the main man for West Virginia.
I tell you, I've been coming here a long time as well. I remember Amos Saraway. I called the game where Tavon Austin went off against Oklahoma. He went for like 300-plus yards, went from wide receiver to running back. They've had good ones for a long time.
Second and 8 at the 34. Green, high snap, slings it, near side. He's got his receiver. This time it's Rodney Gallagher. And he'll get close to that first down marker. He may have it. A 7-yard gain on second and 8, so they say it's a little short.
Here's Neil Brown, took back over the play calling duties last season, a big reason why they won 9 games. And now I love taking a shot right here. I understand you would want to move the chains, but Neil Brown's got to think to himself, we're going to go for this on 4th down anyways. This is a great opportunity to throw a heavy play fake and take a shot to the end zone.
C.J. Donaldson in the backfield now with Green. 3rd down and 1. Donaldson looking for the first down. He stood up, driven backwards, and will not get it. He won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. That'll bring up 4th down and 1.
Now this is no decision at all. This is absolutely a go-for-it territory. He's inside of 2 yards, and he's just inside the 30-yard line. Neil Brown didn't think for 2 seconds, and now Tom Allen, the defensive coordinator for Penn State, biggest call of his young career here for Penn State as their coordinator trying to get off the field.
9th play of the drive coming up. Tom Allen served as the head coach in Indiana, dismissed last year. He got a call, a text from James Franklin as soon as he was let go to come over and be the DC here with Penn State. 4th and 1. Green wants the first down, turns the corner, and second effort. He may have gotten it. He's a rugged young man. Has no problem sticking his nose in it. Rushed for almost 800 yards last year.
I tell you what I love here is watch after he gets contacted. He just gives a little bit of a nudge back inside to his left. Here he goes, a little quarterback power sweep on the outside. That right there, staying in bounds, giving the second effort, gets the line to gain.
First down and 10 at the 25. C.J. Donald. West Virginia threatening. They picked up 3 yards there.
I just love his ability to run. He's an elite runner, but it's not just his ability to run in space. Look at the toughness and the ability to understand where he's at on the field. You see him plant his feet, stay in bounds, and then lunge forward for that first down. That's what makes him so dangerous.
Second down and 7 at the 22. Garrett Green, 5'11", 200 pounds. Motion, Green, empty backfield. Green, here comes the pressure. Green delivers. Incomplete. Looking for his tight end, Cole Taylor, the LSU transfer. And that brings up third down and 7.
That's a big play for Penn State. This is a transfer for them. Jalen Kimber, number 3. He's locked on man-to-man against Cole Taylor, number 87. And he's given up 7 inches. But look at the fight. That is terrific coverage right there by the transfer from Florida, and they're expecting him to come in and continue this tradition of aggressive man-to-man pressure corners on the outside, and that was a good sign there.
12th play of the drive. Third down and 7 for the Mountaineers, who have settled themselves. Green, dancing, drops it off, near side, Jaheim White, and he will not get the first down. He's close. So Neil Brown will have another decision to make. Will he go for it on 4th and short?
Well, he's inside of that yard marker now. I think he will. This drive has been too good for them to just end in a field goal. Penn State would feel like they won this series if this ends in a field goal. So West Virginia, they're trying to make sure that they stamp this drive with a touchdown. They'll go for it for the second straight set of downs on a 4th down, 4th and 1.
At the Penn State 16, a lot of huffing and puffing going on now for the Nittany Lions defense. They've been out there for a long time. C.J. Donaldson, the deep man. Here's the tush push. Did they get it is the question. What do they call that? Jalen Hurts. What should I call it? Is that all right?
It's the tush push, right?
Or formerly the Bush push. Reggie Bush.
Sorry, Brady. Brady's the one in there in the green room right now. Hates that one being brought up. That's right. That spot, it doesn't look like he got it. I felt like he needed a whole football length across that 15-yard line. This is going to be so close. Here's a look from down the line. He was initially stopped right away, and you can tell by his helmet, he might have even gotten a generous spot to put the ball where it is. Based on that replay, watch his helmet. This is going to be a little bit from behind, so I don't know. There's a second effort right there, and that might be where he actually got across the 15. But what a terrific effort by that Penn State defense.
Check out the chains. Looks like he may be short. And he is. Penn State's defense holds. They turn away West Virginia off 4th down. And now the Nittany Lions will get back on the field on offense. No score. 1:35 to go. First quarter. Tom Allen, the most enthusiastic man in the history of planet Earth. He'll take it. Different story for Neil Brown. History in the making. Tom Brady makes his long-awaited debut in the Fox Schools with Kevin Burkhardt, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi for a can't-miss season opener as Dak Prescott and the Cowboys take on Deshaun Watson and the Browns next Saturday, 4 Eastern, only on Fox. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line for Penn State. Allen fires to the sidelines, got his man. Nice throw, good catch at the 35-yard line. Trey Wallace with the reception. Let's go downstairs to JT.
Well, Gus, as you may expect, some clear frustration from West Virginia from their offense. Garrett Green coming to the sideline, asking everyone to give him some space, pushing them away. He's now reviewing the plays on his tablet. Guys are around him now. He was very frustrated, and remember, this is a big year for him. He told me just how much this year means. He's worked hard in the offseason to make this year count. A rough start for West Virginia.
New quarterback in Bo Prabula, who's a rugged runner, handing it off, 2-yard gain.
It's important to note that he didn't replace Aller. Aller stayed on the field, Gus, and split out wide left. They will do this. Prabula is a very athletic quarterback. He's 6'2", 207, and he fits what Andy Kotelnicki really loves to do in kind of that zone read style option attack out of the run game. And so this will be a package that they will continue to have. And now we finally get a little shift in motion. This is what Kotelnicki is known for.
2nd and 8 at the 36. 4 receivers at the top. Here's the motion man, Singleton. Allen looks that way, underneath. Wide open receiver, Trey Wallace. Okay, that was a wonderful play by the Nittany
seeing right now. And that last play that we saw right before the break, Gus, that was the creativity that we're expecting more of. And now here, another motion.
1st down and 10 at midfield. Allen hits the seam, and he's got Wallace with a burst. Trey Wallace, touchdown, Penn State, 50 yards. Coach K dialing it up as he comes from Kansas to Happy Valley.
This is exactly what the Penn State fans wanted to see, is more explosive plays and more specifically forcing the ball down the field. This is just a little play action in the backfield, and now Drew Aller has got his choice. He's got both wide receivers, and he throws it right on time and right on target. You see that ball placement, Gus, right on the face mask of Trey Wallace so he could run through it. That creates yards after the catch, and it ends in the end zone. That's what Penn State fans have been wanting.
Sanders Sahaydak will not kick it, and this time they run it. Pagula looking, 2-point conversion, no. Denied at the end. This time, it's Aiton Garnes, but the touchdown. Allen to Trey Wallace, 4 plays, 85 yards. They scored a minute and 35. Lions up 6-10.
is the highest-ranked hospital in West Virginia. Nationally recognized in cancer, gastroenterology, and GI surgery. Orthopedics, andrology, and transfer surgery. Because when it comes to exceptional care or preparation, our sites couldn't be higher.
Fans, do you want the chance to be seen on the video board throughout today's game? Post up with your favorite photo by scanning the QR code on the video board now. Select photos will be shown throughout the game, and one winner will receive 100 instant West Virginia lottery tickets. So don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game. Learn more at WBLottery.com. All right, fans, get out of your seats and on your feet for Mountaineer t-shirts from United Bank.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Welcome back to Morgantown, West Virginia. Andy Kotelnicki, the first-year offensive coordinator coming over from Kansas. He's known for explosive plays. And what a career for this young man. And he's just getting started in his mid-40s. And he delivers early on that big play capability for Penn State now.
Yeah, that Kansas team, they were in the top 20. Gus, in terms of explosive plays, each of the last 2 seasons, that's one thing that James Franklin knew that he needed to incorporate into this offense, and now right away that's paying dividends in the first week.
Russo sends it away. Ray is the deep man, and he step up, field it inside the 10 with the running room, crosses the 20 and gets up to the 23.
This West Virginia team, I tell you, what a season they had a year ago. This preseason, they were picked to finish last, Gus, in the Big 12. And what did they do? They started 4-3, a nice hot, and then they finished 5-1, including a bowl win. They were the top-ranked rush offense in Power 5, and then they get that huge bowl win, like I just referenced, over North Carolina. And Coach Brown got the Mayo bath, which is maybe not the... Well, he's cleaned up since. Maybe not the way you want to celebrate, but what a sensational season. And that's the reason, Gus, and you touched on it earlier. They feel like they can take the next step, compete for a Big 12 championship in a league that, let's face it, there's a lot of parity in this league. There's probably 7-8 teams that can win this thing.
First and 10 at the 23. Over the middle, and that ball caught by the tight end, Cole Taylor, as Garrett Green just dropped it in his lap, but knocked away at the last moment. And that's an incomplete.
I'll tell you, this is great closing speed by number 1, Jalen Reed. Beautiful throw. Taylor goes back to the back shoulder, but look at Reed. He's right there, paying, and he's able to contact Taylor, and Taylor never had time to secure that, then get his feet down and make a football move before it came down that element of time. It was close. It was close. Garrett Green.
A lot of hard hitting going on for this Penn State team.
Yeah, big
Remember, defensively, they were wonderful last year. First in rushing defense. Second in total defense. Here's the run. Nothing doing. Jaheim White bottled up and dropped behind the line of scrimmage again. This time, Devon J. Thomas.
And this is where Penn State excels. No one gets off the field quicker than Penn State. In fact, they forced more 3-and-outs than anybody in college football last year, and here they've got a chance.
Third down and 11. Number 22. And it's caught. Traylon Davis, a 3-yard gain, but not enough for first. West Virginia has to punt it away again.
And they were trying to go fast there. Penn State wasn't lined up at all. And yet, Cam Miller comes up and makes a nice tackle. Cam Miller, a junior, down from Florida. He's an academic All-Big Ten a year ago, and he comes up and makes a nice tackle. You see how many guys were looking at their wristband, Gus? They were trying to fool him with that quick tempo, and it did not work.
Oliver Straw punted away from its own 5-yard line. Peyton Saunders, the deep man.
Penn State. It's called their first timeout of the half.
So Penn State calling the first time out. Allen ready to get back out there. Will step away. Nittany Lions. Beautiful day in Morgantown. Up 6-zip. Dr. Pepper is celebrating Mansville. College football, it's a pepper thing. I used to say that when I was in Howard. It's a power thing. You just won't understand. Penn State and West Virginia. Oliver Straw ready to punt it away. Caden Saunders deep in, standing at his own 33. And it's fair caught at the 29. 46-yard run, and here comes Aller.
And that last sequence, this is what a great play caller can do for you. Early in the game, Aller was not settled. I told you he needed to calm down. This was a second down throw. He's just way behind. And what do? Get him an easy completion through motion. Boom, it's an easy completion to Trey Wallace. And what does that establish? Rhythm. Next throw, bam. I mean, on the money. That's a dime right over the middle, right on his face mask. He runs through it for a touchdown. Andy Coulter hitting his quarterback almost like a free throw for a great shooter. He's missing a couple of threes. You get him a free throw, and now he's got the rhythm. That's exactly what just happened in that last sequence.
Easy bucket. Here's the option. And it's Pagula. Lost the ball. West Virginia has it. Was he down is the question.
No, he was rolling over the tackler as they went to the ground. And as that ball came loose, I think that was a fumble there because he's on top of the defensive player. That's great hustle. See right here, well, that shin, that's going to be close.
Was that the runner was down prior to the ball coming loose. The previous play is under further review.
It's a big one here.
They rule him down. There is a clear recovery in the immediate action. So if they deem that that shin was not down, then you would have a fumble with a clear recovery for the Mountaineers. Great hustle by Hammond Russell down the field. There's the clear recovery in the immediate action. But Gus, they're going to be looking at that right shin. That right shin, was it down right there, that ankle, before he rolled over Hammond Russell and the ball came loose?
Let's bring in Mike Pereira. Mike, what's the official rule on something like this play?
Yeah, Joel's right. You're focusing on the shin, and that's the first thing that's down. Now, it's got to get to the shin. It's got to be above the ankle. And so you're looking at when that shin is down, and then is that ball coming loose. It's not totally out of his arm yet, but it is loose. And so, to me, that's the thing that they'll focus on, is they'll actually run still video, stop it when that is shin down, and then see what the status of the ball is.
It's not loose there.
Really quick. This doesn't help you a lot because you don't see the ball at that point. So you got to take a look. To me, he looks more down to me than this ball coming loose with that shin. You piece those two together, and at that point, just before that, again, it looks like to me he might be down.
I think the big part here, Mike, is that the ruling on the field is that he was down, because I just don't know if there's enough clear evidence to overturn this.
But more importantly for Penn State.
Nowadays,
I'm sorry, Michael, go ahead.
I must say that they've gotten a little technical, and that's what replay has done, because you have now this Hawkeye system, which you've got so many shots to piece together that I do think it's become more technical. But I agree with you. I kind of think that, you know, when you just look at the play and they're this close, when we disagree like this or when we think differently, then you ought to leave those alone. But anytime you're looking this long at the play, sometimes you're talking about now where are they going to reset the ball if they're going to change it to a fumble.
Well, they've told us now that this will not be a fumble. So Penn State will retain possession of the football. Thank you very much, Michael. And we will speak with you a little bit later. But I think it's more important when you look at this Penn State team early on here, especially over the last couple of series, it's starting to move.
After further review, the ruling of the runner being down is confirmed, and of making the first down stands.
So Penn State holds on. Andy Coulter with you. Let's get back to him. Here's a man that started his college coaching career at Western Illinois. He's from Litchfield, Minnesota. Used to play hockey growing up. As a matter of fact, he was such a good hockey player, he learned how to drive the Zamboni. And by the way, the Zamboni is not the name of that machine. It's two different machines, as Coach Kotelnicki told us. The Zamboni and the Olympia. Anyway, he learned how to drive the Zamboni. And the Zamboni is a machine that comes in to clean the ice. First and 10 at the 40. Allen. So the Zamboni, a resurfacer, and I don't know, I was just thinking, Joe, when you think about James Franklin, he kind of brought Coach Kotelnicki in to resurface the ice for Penn State, especially after Ohio State and Michigan last year.
Yeah, it's like, listen, chopped up ice, they can still skate on at the end of the period, but the problem is it's not fresh. And what James Franklin needed was a smooth, fresh start for Drew Aller and an option and an ability to get more explosive for when they play the top-end teams, specifically in their conference, and then maybe deep into the playoff.
So Coach K trying to make things smooth. Play clock winding down. Aller steps up, wants to run on the move, and he'll pick up the first down and more. First down, Penn State. A 15-yard gain.
He's looking over to his right away, but when he doesn't see it, watch the decisive nature of how he runs right up the middle of the field to gain his first down.
Aller again, dancing in the pocket. Throws off his back foot, and out of bounds.
One thing to pay attention to is that when I studied Kansas coming into this game, and I watched almost every snap from Kansas a year ago, Andy Kotelnicki doesn't go more than about 8 snaps without taking a shot down the field. We see one right there. We saw one in the last series to Trey Wallace. Gus, this is going to be a constant for Penn State all year. The shifts in the movement, trying to be creative, and then also stressing the defense down the field. And here Aller will move out. We got a wildcat formation.
Nick Singleton in the wildcat as the quarterback. And some movement. Looks like this will go against Penn State.
These things are difficult to execute.
Ball start, offense, number 68, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Think about this, Gus. Now, this offensive line, which is replacing 3 draft picks, Nick Dawkins, who is a captain up front at center, he's replacing Hunter Morzad, the center from a year ago, and they've had 3 different guys give a cadence or a clap cadence already in this game in the first quarter and some change. That's a lot of change and a lot of details to execute.
Second down and long at the 30. Aller with time. Sideline throw. Oh, he just stepped into that one. Walk in the park for Drew Aller. And one thing about Kotelnicki, he brings an enthusiasm, an energy, a positivity to this offense.
And that's what they feel like Drew Aller is going to really be the beneficiary of, is that new rhythm. And boy, that was a great throw to Trey Wallace. And they said Trey Wallace was going to be their number 1, and they have not disappointed. They have targeted him early and often in this game, and he's been tremendous. That was a tight window, deep out route, beautiful throw.
Babula and a quarterback. And hand it off straight ahead as Penn State gives it to Nicholas Singleton.
Now, the quarterback in me, though, I can tell you this, if I'm Drew Aller, not having the ball in my hand right after I threw a dime on the outside. It's kind of like a shoe. It's like, okay, just give me the rock again. Let me get in rhythm. Let me operate the offense. That would be the one thing that I would just critique about this constant in and out. Wildcat, Babula, Aller, a lot of change.
Second and 6 at the 29. Hands it off. Singleton makes it back. And he'll lean forward, tackled by Trey Layton, a 4-yard gain.
We're going to go quickly here. I feel like the fast tempo would be right into a zone read.
Third down and 2. And they won't pick up the first down. Great pursuit by this West Virginia defense. Jumping all over him is T.J. Jackson.
Man, that's a great job by that defensive line. Getting inside right there. T.J. Jackson now forcing a 4th down, and they lost yardage. So now it's a 4th and 4, and here we go. They're going to go for it. Jordan Leslie, the defensive coordinator for West Virginia. Biggest snap of the day for this defense.
4th down and 4 at the 27. And it's caught by his tight end, Tyler Ward. First down, Nittany Lions. A gain of 7 on 4th and 1.
Yeah, I just love this. They love their tight end, and what they're going to do is get man-to-man, and they just run a quick out route to him, and this is an easy play for Aller on a 4th down for a conversion.
Aller again, underneath, drops it off. A wide open K-Tron Aller. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. I'll tell you what, the big Zamboni, he's drawing it up here in the second quarter. Penn State looking fluid on offense.
West Virginia gets caught right here. Gus, what makes the smooth ice? Well, the defense blitzes from this right side, and that allows Allen to get over just where he vacates. And look, there's nobody left. The throw's just on the back hip, but now it's all about Allen sniffing that goal line and diving for it for the touchdown.
9:46 to play in the second quarter. Zaheda on the extra point. And it's good. Penn State, 10 plays, covering 71 yards. They score in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. James Franklin has to be pleased with the way his offense is moving up and down the field. Nittany Lions on the road, ranked 8th on top.
We them boys. Holla, holla, holla. Pop a bottle. Holla, holla, holla. Let's get on right now, though. Smell that good on me.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide. The last time West Virginia beat Penn State was in 1988 in Morgantown. That season, they finished 11-1, losing to Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl, playing for the national championship. Right now, Penn State up 13-0. Penn State offense, especially in the second quarter, everybody on the same page. Let's see how the Mountaineers can respond here. Here come the Mountaineers on offense.
It's an important drive here to stay in touch. You know, it's a 2-possession game now. We're getting to 9:46 left in the second quarter. For Garrett Green, you want to keep this fan base into it. You look at what's going on in the second quarter. It's been all Penn State. This offense, it's imperative that they stay on the field, sustain a drive, and chip away at this lead for the Nittany Lions.
First down to the 25. Donaldson in the backfield. They give it to him. Shots his feet and breaks through. C.J. Donaldson.
C.J. Donaldson.
What you're going to see here is a little bit of tempo, and then coming up here in the next few snaps, you're going to see a half roll and a shot down the field.
Green to throw it. Steps into his throw underneath and a little high. And incomplete. Justin Robinson was the target.
Yeah, Mississippi State transfer. He's 6'4", 218. They feel like he can be a great downfield threat. There was that shot play I was talking about. Garrett Green normally very accurate, throwing the ball down the field. That one just high. Good coverage there for Penn State.
Makes a 2nd down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Green pulls it out. On the move. Crosses body. Threw that one into some traffic. And it was broken up in the last minute. A.J. Harris, the Georgia transfer. Young man from Phoenix, Alabama. Started 7 games last year.
Yeah, a couple of big plays here early that are going to go kind of unnoticed, but I think that they're big for the fans of Penn State. One, A.J. Harris. Good play there, breaking up that pass. Earlier, Jalen Kimber, the other transfer corner. So now all of a sudden, these 2 transfer corners that they expected a lot out of, making plays early in the first game. That's a good sign for Penn State's defense.
3rd down and 10 at the 35. West Virginia needs some magic here. Green over the middle. And it's caught. What a grab. Nicely done. Preston Fox plucks it down, a gain of 16.
Well, the coaching staff, they talked about finding the Fox. Preston Fox, he's their most consistent practice player. They find him for the biggest 3rd down of the game so far.
1st down and 10 at the 49. It's a movement.
Prior to the false start, Penn State called their 2nd timeout of the half.
All right, so a timeout call.
Timeout on the field.
And let's take a look at the great catch by Fox.
Well, he's just in one-on-one. You just got man-to-man coverage. The safety is deep. Look at him extend and using his hands. That is a beautiful catch. Find the Fox. Garrett Green did it. And finally, West Virginia, they moved the chains. They're on the march. They're down 13-0 at home.
Now shine on, cause we're made from the stars. I'm supernatural. Oh yes indeed.
8:53 to go here in the second quarter. 13-0 Penn State. West Virginia now. First down to 10. At the 49. C.J. Donaldson in the backfield. They'll give it to him. Wrestled down immediately. Denied Dennis Sutton. With Adisa Isaac, Chop Robinson gone, Dennis Sutton feels that he has an opportunity to be the best defensive end in college football. He said it himself, I'm going to be the best. Play there. Green off the back. And blocked down. What a grab by Cole Taylor. A 26-yard gain.
What an adjustment by Taylor after the tip. This ball is high into the inside. There's KJ Winston. He goes up for it. It's in the air, and great ball skills from Cole Taylor. And another first down. They have needed a couple of great catches to move the ball, and they've gotten them. First from Preston Fox, now from Cole Taylor.
So after the 26-yard gain, first down and 10 at the Nittany Lion 24 for West Virginia. Jaheim White returns to the backfield. Leans forward. Green, shuffling, and incomplete.
Tell you, see how quick Tony Rojas is? He was the one in coverage there. Jaheim White, he's quick as a hiccup. He can make people miss in a phone booth. And yet, Penn State trusts their young linebacker, 6'2", 240 pounds, Tony Rojas, to be man-to-man with Jaheim White down the sidelines, and he was in perfect position.
Tony Rojas burst onto the scene late last season when he had the first sack, first forced fumble, and first interception of his career in the same game at Maryland. He was a prolific running back going up to Northern Virginia as well as defender. Second and 10 at the 24. Green runs it over the right side. Gain a half-yard play. Jalen Green just tracked him down.
It's a big third down right here for this West Virginia team. You know, all series, it seems like Abdul Carter, number 11, he has been so close to getting that sack, getting close to Garrett Crane. So Neil Brown's got to worry about protection here. His ball needs to get out quickly. Maybe find the Fox. Is it time for 29? Preston Fox. They told us he's the guy who made the first third down catch of the game on this previously on this series.
Part of your second down and 9 to the 23. They drop it off the screen. This time it's Ray. And Ray
Pass complete to Travis May.
get up the field. Literally moving A.J. Harris defensively. The Nittany Lion.
Penn State is too fast to go side to side. I know West Virginia feels like they've got speed, but just try. I mean, it's 3rd and 9, and you can't just flip out a little bubble screen. Not against a team that can run like that. These safeties are elite. J.D. Reed, KJ Winston. The corners are excellent. The linebackers can run.
And that brings on Michael Hayes into attempt a 38-yard field goal. And it's good. So with 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the second quarter, Mountaineers on the board at home now, 13-3.
Pacific Life Game Summary sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Well, it's been all Penn State in this second quarter, hasn't it, Gus? They have gotten a rhythm on offense. Trey Wallace, that 50-yard reception for a touchdown. Katron Allen, a beautiful catch and run down the middle of the field. Meanwhile, West Virginia, they've been stumbling. Only 110 total yards and 3 fumbles so far early in this game in the first half. And Penn State, they have found their footing. After a sloppy start, Gus, I said the first team to calm down and execute details, and that team has been Penn State so far.
How was your offseason?
Man, well, I don't do that anymore, so played some golf and a lot of big noon conversations. Just getting ready for today, really, to be honest with you.
So give us a couple of bullet points. What's new and exciting in college football that you fans should pay attention to?
Okay, so the first thing that's new, everything. I think it's going to be quite honest with you, Gus, I think it's going to be one of the most memorable seasons in college football history because of the amount of change that West Virginia kicks it away.
Penn State will start inside their own 5-yard line. Signature crashes forward and gets to the 22.
You think about a 12-team playoff, got some emotions going on the sidelines. You talk about 12-team playoff. That's going to create so much excitement in the month of November. And that's going to, at least in
Who's the best team in the country?
Well, geez. I think that there's some combination of Ohio State or Georgia. I would lean Ohio State with their veteran talent, all the players that came back. They're going to be very tough to beat. Georgia with their recruiting, their elite play.
Who's the best player in the country?
Travis Hunter, Colorado. You see what he did Thursday night? My goodness.
However, they're going to have their hands full with Nebraska and Lincoln next week.
Yeah, they better.
I think Nebraska is my sleeper team this year. First to 10 of the 21. Here's Allen. Goes through his progressions. Underneath and complete.
All right, big series here for Penn State, but I'm with you on Nebraska. That's an interesting one. And here's the thing that you're going to have to realize, folks, and whether you're a fan of West Virginia or Penn State, the imbalance in conference schedules is going to make a huge impact in who's going to be playing for the conference title. So for instance, West Virginia, very difficult Big 12 schedule. Meanwhile, Penn State, I would say a favorable Big 10 schedule. And your Nebraska Cornhuskers, Gus, favorable Big 10 schedule.
Dylan Raiola, let's see what he's got. They say he's got some Patrick Mahomes in him. Second and 10 of the 21. Nittany Lions staying on the ground with Katron Allen. Burks comes up and makes the stick.
All right, here's an important sequence right here. You got third down, this defense trying to get off the field. If Penn State can stay on the field, they can bleed this clock, try to get a score. They get the ball to start the second half. Meanwhile, West Virginia, they need the ball back. They need maybe two more offensive series in this half. Remember, they've got the new 2-minute timeout to help them do that. But that's why this third down is so big.
Third down and 9 of the 22. Allen in the shotgun. Wallace in motion. Allen looks that way. Delivers to the sideline. Oh, danger. Throw. That one almost picked up by Dantes Fagan.
I'll tell you, it looked like just miscommunication there. It seemed like Trey Wallace wanted to go down the field. Aller throws to his back shoulder. Watch as Aller releases this ball, and you can tell Trey Wallace, he is not ready. And look, he's kind of trying to fade back there, and they are lucky that that was not picked off and run back for a touchdown because Fagan had nothing but green turf in front of him.
Rodney Johnson sends it away. Preston Fox ready to return. And it's a fair catch at the 35, a 42-yard punt.
Well, that was a big series for West Virginia's defense right there. Put their offense right back on the field after they had their best offensive series. What worked on that series? Getting the ball out and down the field in the passing game for Preston Fox and Cole Taylor. They have not been able to run the ball very efficiently, in particular when they're trying to go sideways, Gus. Why? Why is that? Penn State is too fast. Those linebackers are too fast, and that's what Neil Brown knows in this sequence. He's going to have to get this ball down the seams and throw the ball down the field.
First down and 10 at the 36. A lot of time left for West Virginia to cobble together a nice drive. 5-13. Raheem White in the backfield. Green, short throw. Sideline caught, nicely done. As Ray steps out of bounds after gaining 7.
And this is not a good sign. I believe that's Raheem White behind the play who's taken a knee. He was just in pass protection there, the running back. Remember, he's only 5'7", 195, and he had to step up, and he was trying to get through that line of scrimmage, and he hit his left shoulder on the tackle. And immediately was reaching for that left shoulder. So watch it right here. So White is trying to get through, and he's going to hit his shoulder right there. That's Alonzo Ford. Alonzo Ford, Gus, is 6'2", 320 pounds. Might as well be a brick wall right on the left shoulder of Raheem White.
Alonzo also got some hip in it. Boom. That's a lot of hip.
You could even say he was slinging the hip over there. Yeah, he was just like, you know, he was kind of like
dropping like it's hot.
Yeah, he was dropping and slinging over to the left. Maybe see he was like two-stepping over there.
There you go.
That is not a good sign for West Virginia. They came into this game feeling like they were as healthy as they've been in a long time at the beginning of any season in recent memory.
Second down and 3. And a run to the first. McDarius Farmer, Penn State just trying on the spot from everything. Misdirection, straight ahead.
He's up 3rd and 1.
I mean, let's be honest. They only struggle or have struggled with really 2 teams in the regular season. It's Michigan and Ohio State for 2 different reasons. Michigan can just get bigger and bully them. And then Ohio State can say, listen, we've recruited and have a roster that we feel like is above you. Everybody else, Penn State is too fast and too athletic. We're seeing the evidence right here with this defense.
3rd down and 1 at the 45. They got it. They'll give it to him for the first down. 3-yard gain.
Yeah, there was some assistance in there. I think Thomas Remack, 55, jumped in, and everybody trying to push him across that line to gain. Neil Brown did not want to make another 4th down decision. We've seen him already have to make a couple.
Remember, C.J. Donaldson's 238. He's a big boy.
He's a workhorse. Vibrant personality.
6'2". First down at the 47. West Virginia get more points as this first half comes to a close. And C.J. Donaldson again gets upfield, overcame the tackle after the game 5.
Just kind of moving methodically with this offense as far as the pace that they're going between plays. They settle everybody down. They've certainly found a bit of a rhythm here in the last 2 series. Went down and got a field goal here.
Look at the rushing yards for Green already. Excuse me, passing yards, 10 of 16, 89 yards for Green. 2nd and 5 at the 48. And it's Donaldson. And Donaldson turns a corner in a smooth way, picks up 9.
Got a great block here, and then on the edge as well. Look at these edge players. You've got Wyatt Milam. Beautiful block from the tackle. Then he gets up to the 2nd level, and Traylon Ray, the sophomore wide receiver, he gets a piece on the outside. That's a beautiful job. That's the way to run the football if you're the Mountaineers.
First down at 10 at the Penn State 39. Can West Virginia pay it off? 3 receivers at the top of the screen. Leading the tight end. Green. Lonzo. He's under pressure. Let's go downstairs to JT.
Jaheim White is now leaving early for the locker room, Gus. He's holding his left wrist. Unfortunately, he was pretty disheveled going into the tent. Obviously, emotions are high. Jaheim White, this game means a lot to him. He actually spent some time in Pennsylvania as a young kid. His teacher, he calls her his godmother, was a Penn State fan. He didn't get the offer from Penn State. He wants to be a factor in this game. He wants to show up against this team. I'll keep you posted on the latest with him after the break.
He had 4 100-yard games, including a season best 204 and a score against Cincinnati last year. 2nd and 10. Across the line of scrimmage. And that could take us to the 2-minute warning. A gain of 2. Jalen Anderson with the run. How about the 2-minute warning in college football? I love it.
And like they do everything, they don't let us call the warning. The 2-minute timeout. It's like 1A, man. Isn't it the same thing? Isn't it the same thing?
I stand corrected.
Do you want to call a warning? I'll call a warning. You call a warning.
Okay,
Let's do it.
there you go.
T-Man, welcome, baby, welcome. Yeah, welcome to West Virginia, T-Man. Thanks for stepping in. You got, am I taking it right out of this break? Okay, got it. Will it come right to me, or there'll be like a shot with a scoreboard? Like a, okay. Do they want it on? Do they want it on or no?
Oh, you mean like don't wear it at all?
Should I wear it?
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Modelo. Now recruiting full-time fans. Please drink responsibly.
10-point ball game here in Morgantown. Rob Stone here with you, coming up on the State Farm at halftime report. The last time Clemson and Georgia met, it was a low-scoring affair. Same story so far this year. A new QB era in Knoxville debuts, and the guys will join me and talk about all those self-inflicted wounds suffered by West Virginia. Guys?
All right, Stoner, thank you very much. You know, Stoner's got a new podcast with Coach Meyer.
I saw that.
And my main man, the Heisman Trophy winner, Mark Ingram, 3rd down and 8 at the 37.
You know what everyone's wondering? What is that? When is your new podcast?
You know what? I've been thinking about that, and I got an answer for you. I'll tell you right now. 3rd down and 8 at the 37. Jalen Anderson in to Jaheim White. And they'll run it. 3, dive in. And he's got the first down. And close to it. West Virginia quickly to the line of scrimmage. You know what? My podcast is going to come now. I figured it out. Every Saturday with you. We're going to make this a podcast broadcast. You think we can do it?
Well, we got to name it. You got a name?
I don't have a name. I need a cool nickname. You know anybody that can come up with that kind of stuff?
Yeah, the millions watching. I'm sure they'll have suggestions.
Well, do me a favor. Go to your boys this week and ask them online what would be a good name for our podcast, me, you, and Jenny.
All right, hit me up at Joel Klatt on Twitter. What's the name of our podcast?
There it is. So they're reviewing it to see if West Virginia got the first down.
I was like you, Gus, just in real time. It looked like he kind of had got that line, but you never know exactly when a shin or a knee or even an elbow hits the turf. There's the original contact. And then as Green constantly does, look at him churn and just keep going and keep going. And then right there, I don't know, yeah, that's probably a good spot. They spotted that ball just over the 30-yard line. As he goes down, looks about right.
Mike Pereira feels like this may be a little short. We'd like to welcome Mike back. He had some serious back injuries last year, had to take a knee for a second. But it's just so great to see Mikey Rulebooks back in action with us on our team at Fox, our veteran, Dean Blandino.
I just want everyone listening to know Mike Pereira is an innovator, and he's the best rule analyst in history, and he innovated the way that we watch football. But he is a better human being, and I am so thrilled to have you back, Mike. Love you. Can't wait to see you in LA, buddy, and give you a big hug.
And I tell you what,
I am so glad, Joel, to be back. And it's great to see a good spot, too. I don't think they can do anything with this spot.
After further review, the win on the field was confirmed, 4th down.
I tell you what, the only guy that I would bet against you in golf is that man, Mike Pereira. I think he can get you, Joe.
He's sneaky.
You got to give him strokes.
I do. That's right. That's all right, though. That's part of the game. Give him about 8.
8? Ooh, he is sandbagging you, brother. 4th down and short for the Mountaineers. They need this one desperately. Neil Brown is going to go for it. Here's the handoff. Donaldson fighting. I don't think so. I don't know. It's going to be close. Penn State feels like they may have stopped him. Dominic DeLuca, first man to him. Devon J. Thomas also in on the play.
I tell you, they did a great little swap with J. Thomas, number 91, and Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter went inside, took the tackle down with him, and then J. Thomas is just unblocked. Watch this right here. This is beautiful. Watch this. This is Abdul Carter, and now there's Devon Thomas, and look at him. He's just sitting there unblocked. Boom. He takes on the tight end, and he's able to stuff that area, allowing the linebackers to flow over the top, be unblocked at the point of attack. That is beautiful.
That's the kind of play that can get you paid.
Well, it's unselfish by Abdul Carter, there's no doubt, and it's just kind of tough, right? That's just a football guy, and Jay Thomas is the beneficiary of it. And by the way, just credit to Tom Allen. That's a wrinkle on a 4th down. That's a really nice wrinkle. Makes it difficult on the offensive line.
Yeah, but they give it to West Virginia. They get it to the football.
Listen, I did not think that he was even close to that line to gain.
Great sign for Coach Brown's team. Managing to scratch that one out.
Needed to get all the way there to the 29-yard line. There's that little swap right there. Look at everybody unblocked, and Donaldson is right there. There's just no way that got to the 39-yard line.
Now they will review it.
Gus, that's why I went directly into just the replay sequence of talking about the defense. They're half a yard short.
May I have your attention, please, for an important...
Bring in Mike Pereira.
There are lightning and thunderstorms.
Agreed, Joel. You know, when you actually look at the play, and even the live shot really showed that he didn't get to the 29. And you had the official on top that was working right down the 29-yard line. But this is kind of one of those, you get to the pile like this, it's a tough look. But to me, I'm with you, Joel. I think he's as much as a half a yard short.
Yeah, his initial movement, Mike, is the furthest he gets up the field. He does not get to that 29-yard line, which he was going to need to. They gave him a spot by at least a football, maybe a football and a half. There's the point of attack. Boom. That's as far as he goes right there. And then he is turned and turned back. And when the official runs in, he's running in at least a half yard forward of that forward progress. See that? Yeah, that's... He gets the ball, and now he's going to put it down, and I just don't think that he got that line to gain.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
That's wild.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I don't agree with that ruling at all. It's obviously a huge benefit to West Virginia. They can stay on the field here. Remember, Penn State gets the ball to start the second half. That was going to be a huge sequence right there. He did not get the 29. That's a missed call. Huge benefit. Now West Virginia has got to take advantage of it and stick this ball in the end zone.
First down at 10 to the 29. They'll run it. Donaldson breaks it back. Donaldson with room. Running over Nittany Lions as he falls down at the 20. Tyler Elsdon with the tackle, but it's a 9-yard gain.
This is just a really nice run and a nice shot by that left side of the offensive line now inside of a minute.
Donaldson remains in the game. They'll give it to him again. Stutter step through the hole, and he can't get there. This time he's tracked down. Beautiful play. Tony Rojas in there. Keziah Izzard as well.
And with 3 timeouts, now 2 timeouts after they'll take this one. They had the benefit of being able to run their entire playbook and run the football if they wanted to, and Donaldson was able to pop a nice run there. Now with 45 seconds, you gotta move the chains first and then worry about the clock.
All right, next week the game of the year is here on Big News Net. Alex Orji, think R.J. Barrett.
Well, I don't even know if he's going to be the starting quarterback. Sharon won't say. He's taking a page out of Jim's book and just not saying anything about that. Obviously, this is going to be a great matchup. Texas is an elite team, and yet for Michigan, Gus, this is the way it is for Michigan. Everybody is different, and yet everything remains the same. All the hires are from within. They don't feel like anything has changed for their culture.
Wayne Martindale, new defensive coordinator, the architect of the Ravens defense. 3rd down and 2 at the 21 for West Virginia. They need points desperately, especially heading into the halftime for their confidence. Green underneath, threw that one behind his target, incomplete. Preston Fox. You just get the feeling that Green needs to still settle down a little bit.
Yeah, that one was, just the timing of that whole concept was not quite there, and it looks like they're going to run the kicking unit onto the field, try to get points here before the half as Michael Hayes will come out.
West Virginia has run 22 plays in Penn State territory, but just 3 points to show for it so far. Hayes, good from 38. This one from 39. Got it up, and it's perfect. 13-6. 37 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Penn State 13, West Virginia 6.
Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt, more of a defensive battle. Both teams first game, a little nervous, a little sloppy.
I thought it was really sloppy early, but both offenses in that second quarter found their footing a little bit, and both quarterbacks found their footing. The difference is that Penn State's defense was able to hold for field goals, and Penn State's offense was able to get the ball into the end zone. I really love what's going to end up happening here is that we set this up into the second half. The adjustments made at halftime are going to be massive. No Jaheim White for West Virginia, so they're going to have to revamp what they want to do with their rushing attack. And if you're Penn State and you go in at halftime, I think Andy Kotelnicki, Gus, is just going to be saying, listen, we've got it. We found our rhythm. We found our creativity. Now it's time to just go down and put the pedal to the metal.
Andy Kotelnicki brought in for explosive plays for this Penn State team. The big Zamboni. What an energetic man. Between Tom Allen and Coach Kotelnicki, what great spirit, energy, positivity, compassion, and kindness coming from these two coordinators. Line drive kick, fielded at the 7. Get across the 25 to the 27 for Nick Singleton.
Well, part of this for Penn State was that they wanted to get their playmakers the ball and in space. Well, they've done that. Nick Singleton, they've gotten the touches from Nick Singleton to get loose. Then there's Trey Wallace, big touchdown over the middle of the field. They've gotten the ball to Katron Allen as well as Tyler Warren. Nice first down there. That was a 4th down play. And then here's Katron Allen over the middle. He can run after the catch. So much of coordinating and play calling is just making sure that you are targeting your best players. They wanted to do that. They've done that. And I think that's a big reason why they found success in the second quarter.
And for Coach K, what is the difference in his offense? What are the things that he does that it's signature?
Well, he calls it distortion, and he tries to line up in as many different formations as he can, give the defense more movement, so it's difficult for them to line up and to know what you're in. And because of, like, for instance, when Kansas played Texas last year, they started the game with 20 different formations in their first 20 plays.
Here's Allen to throw it. Allen goes deep. Allen down the field. And it's caught inside the 20, Omari Evans. And they were talking about him in our meeting yesterday. They feel these wide receivers have big play capabilities.
That was a great adjustment by Omari Evans as Aubrey Burks was in coverage.
A 63-yard gain.
Just a straight go route down the field. And I tell you, at that timing of the game, you feel like almost West Virginia was lulled to sleep. You see Burks right there. He gets himself turned, going the wrong direction. Aller actually underthrows this, and Omari Evans maybe gets away with a little bit of a push right there and gets himself free. Did he extend and push up? Oh, absolutely. That's a miss right there, and Omari Evans benefits, and now he gets the ball deep inside the 30. See that left arm right there? That's a shove, and he gets away with it on a big, deep ball. And this is the one thing, too, that they said that they were going to do was push the ball down the field.
And that is the 3rd play of 20 or more yards in the first half for Penn State.
Something they really struggled with last year, was those explosive plays. Drew Aller, by the way, last year, he averaged just over 7 yards in the air per pass attempt. Gus, that was 124th in college football. That's changing in real time here today. Trying to figure out the clock situation. There's the push off. Omari Evans, he gets away with it. It's caught. 10 seconds on that clock.
Omari Evans, Jr. from Killeen, Texas. Coach K brought in here for those big plays, and he's delivering his offense early. Let's see if Drew Aller and the Penn State offense can pay it off with 8 seconds to go.
I just love that aggressiveness because there was a point in terms of the clock in the first half that even if it's incomplete, you don't feel like you're giving West Virginia a ton of time to do anything with it. So why not be aggressive and pay it off?
First and 10 of the 18. 10 seconds to go. Allen.
Prior to the snap, timeout, West Virginia, their second of the half, 30 seconds in length.
Penn State out of timeouts. West Virginia still has one remaining.
Well, on the previous series, what did we see? We felt like West Virginia was the benefit of a poor spot. That was upheld in review, and yet Penn State's defense still forced a field goal. So West Virginia, they feel like a call went against them. This push-off from Omari Evans, they've got to stand tall and force a field goal and not allow this ball into the end zone. Here's another look at it. And for me, it's always the extension of an arm. And when you see Omari Evans, that left arm extend all the way out with contact, that's certainly something that could or should draw a flag even all the way up into that head area. And then he adjusts and catches the ball. But Arbery Burks was there. No call, but now the West Virginia defense, they've got to stand tall and force a field goal opportunity. If I'm Penn State, I'm taking a shot at the end zone right now.
First down to 10 of the 18. Two receivers make it three at the bottom. Aller looks the other way, floats it back, showdown! Touchdown, Nittany Lions! Trey Wallace, what touch on that ball by Aller. An 18-yard score.
Boy, we saw an amazing back shoulder catch from Travis Hunter on Thursday night, and this one also contorting his body. Trey Wallace going back with that foot, dragging both feet, dragging into the end zone. Gains control. He's got to maintain that through the process of going to the ground, and it looks like he does. And just like I told you, Penn State, with that clock time, take a shot to the end zone. They do it to their #1 target, and Trey Wallace pays it off.
3 plays covering 81 yards. Folks, the Penn State offense scored in 22 seconds.
And they get the ball to start the second half. That's why aggressiveness right there was so important. Wow, what a sequence.
And already, Trey Wallace with a career high, 117 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns today, all coming in the first half. Aller's confidence, sky high. That's because he's got a new coach. He's got the big Zamboni, dialing it up. Penn State looking good.
You've got man-to-man. Well, when you get man-to-man and you've got Trey Wallace, what do? Safety moves over to the right side, throw it to him. He throws it to the back shoulder, and you just allow your player to go adjust and catch the football. And that's what Aller does, and Wallace does the rest. Boy, they talked about him all offseason and in fall camp, and he has paid it off. They said he's our #1. He's the guy that's going to jump off the screen, and he has. He has been an absolute star early in this game, and boy, how big does this look now? Omari Evans gets that catch on the big ball down the field to start this drive, pushes off of Arbery Burks. There's the completion, and exactly what you should do if you're the Nittany Lions. Gus, what do? Get aggressive, go to the end zone, and they do it to their best player.
You know, Penn State's offense prolific. Penn State's defense has been prolific. But now, this offense starts to show some signs early on. First game, we understand. 20-6. West Virginia from the 1. Across the 20, up to the 22 with Ray running the ball. And a second remaining. A lot of smiles on that Penn State sideline.
We got an injured Nittany Lion on the field here with 1 second left. I tell you, if you're a Penn State fan, here were the biggest questions of the offseason. Can we maintain our defensive excellence? But really, let me start over. Is our offense going to be more explosive? Is this change going to pay dividends? That's #1.
No, let's start over. What are we going to do to beat Ohio State and Michigan?
Got to change the offense. Just didn't score enough. It was too stagnant in those games. Change the offense, come out, got to get more explosive. That's happened. Then on the defense, can we maintain excellence? It looks like they have. They've got the speed, the athleticism, a couple of nice stops in the red zone, forcing field goals. That's a check. These young corners, or transfer, I should say, can they lock down and cover the way that we like to cover? So A.J. Harris, #4, Jalen Kemper, #3. How do they play? They've come in and played exceptionally well in this first half. So, if you're a Penn State fan, this first half went as well as you could possibly imagine.
And when you look at their schedule,
even with the sloppy play,
even when you look at their schedule, it's not horrible.
No, I would say it's most favorable among the elite teams in the Big Ten. They don't have to play Oregon.
Home against Illinois, UCLA.
They don't have to play Michigan. So they get to play Ohio State, but that one's at home. They've got to play USC on the road. It's a favorable schedule for them. This is a big year.
Ready to kick it. Second half underway in Morgantown. Penn State starts inside their own 5 with Singleton. They get to the 21-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Jenny Tabb.
Guys, thank you so much. Well, I love what Joel just pointed out. You better believe Neil Braun watched that whole first half. He told me, I watched it all, and I want you to know that I'm not pleased with the replay today. He said, the big thing, we didn't play well. We didn't believe, we didn't bring our toughness. We control our own destiny. This is an advantage for West Virginia, a chance to fully restart. That's the way they're approaching this right now. Coach Franklin, as you guys said, close quarters, guest locker room. This time they had food. They stayed in it. It's crucial how they start right now.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. Katron Allen running the ball on first down at the 22-yard line. And he'll gain a couple. So your overall thoughts on both teams in the first half, JK?
Well, first, they came out, and I felt like the emotion of the game was too much for both teams. And you saw that with the sloppy play, the football hitting the ground several times. There were 5 fumbles in that first half. And then you started to settle down. The point was you needed to be the first team to settle down. Penn State was the first team to settle down. And it started with these miscues and the sloppy play, like I was suggesting, ball hitting the turf. And then all of a sudden, boom, there we go. With Drew Aller, he settles in. You start seeing some of these tight window throws and getting their players the ball in space. And then the aggressiveness and the drama right there at the end of the half, right before the delay. Those 2 plays, boom, Amari Evans gets the push off, he gets the completion. And then there's Trey Wallace again, who's had a huge first half in this game. Trey Wallace, 5 catches for 117 yards. And Penn State settled in, and now they've got the 20-6 lead.
2-hour and 19-minute rain delay.
You know, as a player, Gus, I would just say this, like, there are moments when the atmosphere is not going to carry you. And you got to decide, are you the thermostat or are you the thermometer? Are you going to turn this environment into your temperature, or are you going to let this delay impact the way that you play?
James Franklin wants his team to turn up the heat on West Virginia. Second down and 8. And it's Allen once again. Not a lot of room. West Virginia stuffs it. Josiah Trotter, Jeremiah's son, a redshirt freshman from Philly. The tackle, remember, his father, Jeremiah, played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Great linebacker. I covered it when he was an Eagle. 3rd down and 7 at the 25. Had the hot hand lately. Pulls it down, looking for the first down. And the big fella will get it. Drew Aller, he's not a great runner, but he's serviceable at 6'5", 238.
You've got to be a willing runner, because it's not about how great you are or making people miss as a quarterback like Aller. But right there, once it's open and there's green turf in front of you, you've got to get there and then have an understanding for where the line to gain is. Look at him peek right there, and now he sees it, and he's going to dive forward, protecting the football for the first down.
First down at the 35-yard line. Opening series for Penn State here in the second half. Katron Allen, Singleton in the backfield. And an offset eye. And they'll give it to Allen as he skips forward. Katron Allen pushes the pile to the 41, gains about 5 as Anthony Wilson Jr. makes the stop.
This offensive line is replacing 3 draft picks from a year ago, and they got a great push on that last first one.
Allen quick strike on the hitch to the far side, ball caught by Singleton. And he'll get out of bounds inside West Virginia territory.
And a flag here late in that sequence at the end of the tackle comes in from that deep official.
had some good rainstorms that we've been a
Personal
part of.
foul, targeting, defense, number 4. The previous play is under further review.
That's Trey Lathan.
Yeah, let's take a look at this at the end. I did not see this, and here's at the end of this play. Here we go as Lathan, the middle linebacker, he comes in and oh, absolutely. You know, there's obviously the two types of targeting, the defenseless player who gets protection in the head or neck area, or just leading with the crown of your helmet and striking forcibly with the crown of your helmet right there. Looking, you're going to see the indicators, the dip and the launch, and then he goes not just to the head, although Singleton at that point is not considered a defenseless player because he's a runner, but the initiating of the contact forcibly with that crown of the helmet is what they'll be looking at.
Let's bring in Mike Pereira. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, it's one of these where, what is the crown? The definition of the crown. Not necessarily the forehead, but that 5-inch like circle on the very top of the helmet. So when you look at the tackle here, you want to see, make that.
After review, there is no foul for targeting with the crown of the helmet.
Well, they've decided not to.
His forehead, which I think is the right decision.
All right, thank you, Mike.
It's big for West Virginia because Trey Lathan is the communication player. Remember, something we haven't talked about, headsets now in college football with the communication from the coaches into the players, one player per side. Lathan with that green dot on his helmet. He's the middle linebacker. He's the communicator. Got hit in the in the 5th game last season. And Gus, they need him on the field, so that is a big review right there.
First down and 10 at the 47. Play fake. Allen sets. Sideline. Nice split. And Amari Evans. He is bottled up and taken down quickly. Nicely done by Reed Carrico.
Carrico, good hustle right there, but Aiden Gardens did a nice job on the outside. Now we've got this situation where behind the chains are off schedule. West Virginia's got a chance here in this sequence here. They need to be aggressive on this set of downs and not allow Penn State to get into that 3rd and 3 territory.
Second down and 11 at the 48. Allen in motion. Allen keeps it, runs into his own teammate. Oh, make that Pibula. TJ Jackson comes up and stops it.
Again, we see that mix-up where we see Bo Pibula taking some of those snaps. They leave Aller on the field. He steps out as a wide receiver at that point, but it gains only a few here, Gus, and this is a great chance for West Virginia here to ratchet up this pass rush and try to get off the field.
Aller back in at quarterback. 3rd down and 8 at the 45. Allen with time. Allen looking. Cuts it in. Nice move, and he'll slide down for first down. Close to the 30-yard line. A 10-yard gain.
Check him out as he runs to the right side. Watch this, Gus, as he takes off to the right. Watch, he's just going to give like this little pump fake. And as a quarterback, something that every single coach will tell you right there, right here, he pumps out to the outside. They'll tell you that defenders are like trained seals. You pump the football, they're going to jump at the football. Kind of like, hey, squirrel, over there. You pump the ball, he does that, finds a seam, and he's up the field for a first down.
And they have it at the West Virginia 35.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 68, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Anthony Donko.
They're excited about Anthony Donko. He's just a redshirt freshman. I know you don't get your name called a lot as an offensive lineman unless it's a penalty, but James Franklin certainly is excited about his young right tackle. Shoes to fill again, those 3 guys drafted, but they've done a nice job today.
First down and 15 at the 40. Allen with the handoff again, and this time, Singleton! Make the quick touchdown, Penn State! 40 yards. You want a explosive plays when you're getting them today from the Nittany Lions.
I'll tell you what, I said you don't get your name called as a lineman unless it's a penalty. Well, how about we come right back after the penalty and watch my guy, Anthony Donko. He's going to come down, watch this mash block, and it allows the tight end. Watch right here, number 44, Tyler Warren. He comes off of the double team, and that's the block in the secondary. He gets Anthony Wilson blocked up just for a moment, and then Nicholas Singleton can take off to the left side and head to the end zone.
Penn State with touchdowns on 4 of their last 5 possessions to take a 27-6 lead. Nittany Lions start the second half like they're shot out of a cannon. That's because Nick Singleton bursting through. 8th ranked team in the country, looking good in Morgantown. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect the stuff you love with renter's insurance. And by Taco Bell. Penn State has had some pretty good running backs over the years. John Capoletti, remember he won the Heisman Trophy in 1970. Nick Singleton, 8 carries, 6 yards. DJ Doty, Sean Carter.
It's hard for me not to just immediately think of Saquon.
And, well, he's pretty good, too.
I forgot about him, right?
Playing with the Philadelphia Eagles now, so he's back in the state of Pennsylvania. Bearcat signal. West Virginia has to try to pull some things out. This will be their first series to start the second half. 2-hour, 19-minute rain delay. I'm sure they had a chance to talk about it, as you mentioned, partner. So let's see the results.
Well, what they're going to need to do is try to avoid beating Penn State side to side, because the speed of Penn State was evident in that first half. Wouldn't you agree, partner?
Yes, sir.
And now what West Virginia is going to have to do is try to get more downhill on them. So what I'm expecting to see is more side-to-side motion, but then the concepts are going right at the defense.
Jaheim White, who went out with the upper body injury in the first half, is back in the game. They give it to him as he hops forward and is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Some gang tackling going on.
That's great to see him, because they need him. He makes them a much more dangerous offense. You know, when you look at this defense, however, I tell you, a couple of guys that I just thought were incredible. One's running on the field right now. Number 1, Jalen Reed, was all over the field in the first half. He's lined up over the slot right now as the nickelback.
Jalen Reed senior from Detroit, out of Martin Luther King High School, powerhouse in the state of Michigan. 2nd and 9. And this one dropped off to Ray. Gets upfield to the 30. Picks up 2.
This is a great opportunity. Listen, if you're Penn State, you got to think about this from just a macro standpoint, an overarching picture standpoint. So third quarter, you just took a big lead. It's 27-6. Tom Allen's got his defense on the field with a chance to go 3 and out, put his offense right back on the field. This is one of those where you kind of think of it as a kill shot. You know, be aggressive right now, try and get that punter on the field. Then you can stretch that lead out even further if you get the offense on the field right now.
3rd down and 7 to the 28. Green in trouble. Green, and he's sacked. All the way back at the 15-yard line. Zane Durant, as well as Abdul Carter in the backfield.
I'll tell you, Abdul Carter is going to take 2, and that means that the other players have a chance. Watch, here's Carter. He's going to take 2 of the blockers, the back and the tackle. What does that allow? It allows for the looper to get right into the face of the quarterback and everybody else to close down on Garrett Green. And Abdul Carter, he might get pointed at, but he points right back and says, that's right, I'm that man you need 2 for.
Straw sends it off. Saunders, fair catch inside his own 44-yard punt. A lot of happy campers on that Penn State sideline. Tom Allen leading the charge. His guys playing well. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. And by Verizon. Welcome back, 27-6. Penn State on top of West Virginia. 8:18 to play in the 3rd quarter. Remember, we had a 2-hour and 19-minute rain delay. Drew Allen came out dry and hot.
Yeah, he's in rhythm, and I describe rhythm by making decisions quickly. Well, you see right here, he's going 1, 2 in the progression, 3, and then running, and that's rhythm. There's no glitch, and then you get the big play from Singleton. This offense is rolling.
We'll hand it off, and it's Allen. Aller, so far on the day, 10 of 15, 212 yards passing, and he's thrown 3 touchdowns. He's also rushed it 3 times for 35 yards.
More importantly, Gus, though, is remember it's about throwing the ball down the field. Remember, that's what they were missing a year ago, and today they have thrown it down the field. Look at that percentage. And the time when he's throwing the ball at least 15 yards or more down the field, it's 6 of 8. Andy Nittany, the new offensive coordinator, has got to be thrilled with the way that number 15 is being aggressive.
2nd and 9 at the 38. Allen in trouble. Allen buying time. Turns a corner on the move and just steps out of bounds at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, if he takes the next step, this team is going to be really dangerous at the top end of college football. Got a fast defense. This offense can be explosive. And I think back to 2016. You guys remember, they were second in all of college football in terms of explosive plays in 2016. I referenced that year because that's the year they won the Big Ten with Saquon Barkley and Trace McSorley. They're trying to return to that form and get to that spot where they need to become more explosive, and they've done that today.
3rd and 8. Allen. And that one caught, but not enough for a first down by Tyler Warren as he backs it to himself. And the Nittany Lions will have to kick it.
That's great defense from West Virginia. The secondary is doing a good job of making Aller go to his 2nd and 3rd progression. Unfortunately for them, Hammond Russell, their defensive tackle, their nose guard, shaken up on that play. He was kind of coming in from behind the play, trying to get in on the tackle, and was shaken up.
I tell you, Drew Aller, he reminds me of a certain player, a certain colleague, a certain young man that I had a chance to cover when he was a pup in the NFL.
Who's that?
Tom Brady. And I'm not talking about what Tom Brady became. I'm talking about Tom Brady when he was at Michigan, Citrus Bowl, threw for over 300 yards. That's when we noticed him really. Back after this. History in the making. The GOAT, Tom Brady, makes his long-awaited debut in the Fox booth with Kevin Burkhardt, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi for a can't-miss season opener as Dak Prescott and the Cowboys take on Deshaun Watson and the Browns next Sunday at 4 Eastern, only on Fox. Penn State getting ready to underway. Brady, 6'6", big guy. I saw him with you at halftime in a UFL game, and you were standing next to him, and you're a big guy, Joel, and you towered over you.
I know.
Kind of similar to what I'm seeing from Aller in terms of his size. Brady also, I had a chance to call his first ever start against Peyton Manning in Indianapolis. With the Patriots. Walked into that meeting, and Troy Brown, who was a receiver for New England at the time, was on the sidelines, and we knew each other. And I said, "What do you think about this kid Brady?" And Brown said, "I don't know, but you know what? There's something about him that's special." And it certainly was. Prophetic. 1st and 10 at the 11. We know Garrett Green is special. And that's a completion. This time, Rodney Gallagher.
Offside. Defense, number 11. Line to the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And let me correct myself, folks. Brady's last game, the Orange Bowl, and that was in 2000. And he had a huge game, 369 and 4 touchdowns.
Signs of things to come.
You know, I think that's when they really noticed it. First down and 5. Interesting to ask Tom that question. At the 16-yard line. Some tough sledding for this West Virginia team offensively. They drop it all into the play. And the first down.
Flags everywhere. Yeah, flags after the play. There was contact late. Looked like maybe Abdul Carter, who was in there in pursuit, got a hold of C.J. Donaldson after he was well out of bounds. Yeah, there's no doubt it was about a step out of bounds. So this is going to tack 15 more on. And much needed here for West Virginia here.
Personal foul, laying it out of bounds. Defense number 11. 15-yard penalty and automatic. First down.
The last series, you saw Abdul Carter jarring with some of those West Virginia players. One of them was C.J. Donaldson. So a little of that emotion here pouring into this series. And that's why coaching staff just brings them over and says, all right, calm down for a sec before you go out there and rush that pass.
First down for West Virginia from the 37. Green keeps it. Let's go! Tony Rojas with the tackle. Love watching this kid. He plays with great energy and athleticism. Tom Allen loves him too. He calls Rojas special. Tom Allen, special coach, folks. Enthusiasm, energy, positivity.
It didn't have to be here. He could have just sat there and taken his buyout. But wanted to be at a place that loves football, is committed to football, can win at the top end, and that's certainly Penn State.
Green over the middle. He had his man, Jaden Gray, just couldn't hold on. And going back to Tom Allen, he had 2 days off before accepting the offer. He asked his wife, he said, what do you think? She said, you better get out of my house and go to work. And that's exactly what he did.
Well, he's done a nice job here so far, although he got helped out there by Jaden Bray. I know that ball was just a touch high, but certainly a ball that Bray should have brought in. He's a transfer from Oklahoma State. And the opportunities for West Virginia have been few. And when you do get an opportunity like that, you've got to cash in.
Third down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Here's Green. Green lines up. And incomplete. But it looked as if Penn State may have jumped offside.
I don't think there was any question.
Offside.
Dennis Sutton.
Defense number 33. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Let's go downstairs to Jen.
When I talked to linebacker Kobe King about Tom Allen, he must have told me, Gus, about 5 times how much the guys love Coach Allen. He said the first meeting they had, Coach Allen asked Kobe King, what do you want from me? What do you want from a defensive coordinator? He said he's been helping them answer the why, helping them become better players on and off the field. Coach Allen has made a very easy transition to Penn State.
All right, Jenny, great report. 3rd and 5 to 43. The West Virginia moving over the middle. Nobody open for the Mountaineers. Tough day for Garrett Green because this Penn State defense is fast, especially side to side, and they've been terrific in coverage.
Yeah, and this ball was just a little too high. If you're going to have an in-breaking route, in particular right in front of you or over the ball, that ball has got to be on the frame of the wide receiver. You're hearing the fan base. They felt Tony Rojas, number 13, interfered a bit there with Preston Fox, who was coming on the inside. But that ball just a bit high, and now West Virginia has got to punt it away. I think secretly here, here's the untold story so far, Gus. Guess what Penn State has just not allowed at all today?
What is that?
Garrett Green to scramble around. No rushing yards. For Garrett Green.
Ball fair caught at the 12. 4:42 to play, third quarter. Tough day for the Mountaineers. Different story for Penn State. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business Reliability. Business is our business. Coach James Franklin, 52 years old, 11th season. He's won 10 or more games 4 times in his Penn State career, including each of the last 2 seasons. The Lions won Rose, Cotton, and Fiesta under Franklin. And finished in the AP Top 10 4 times in his 10 seasons. National Coach of the Year in 2016. Penn State won the Big Ten title in a game over Wisconsin. Allen flings it out wide and incomplete. Let's look at this James Franklin resume. The good and the you want to get better.
Yeah, well, listen, they've been excellent. They've been as good as anybody in college football. Unfortunately for them, it coincided with the 4-team playoff, so they were never in that. You could make an argument that no team was hurt more like just a 4-team playoff than Penn State. In fact, in the last 8 years, because they would have been in 6 playoffs if it was this year's 12-team format. So, as I told him when I sat down with him for Big Noon Conversations over the summer, I don't think that there's a program in the country that benefits more from the shifts in college football more than Penn State. And I think they're ready to take advantage.
Singleton. Nice run after contact. And you also have to consider for James Franklin all the success he's had at Penn State. And he's a man that inherited a program that went through so much when he arrived. He's going through so much when he arrived, and he managed to steady the ship and get them aimed in the right trajectory.
A lot of credit for that's got to go to Bill O'Brien for what he did in those couple of years, and then obviously Coach Franklin coming in and having the success right on the back.
His first down.
You know, the next step, though, because listen, Gus, as you know, in life and certainly in college football, you're either getting better or you're getting better.
That's right.
And so here's the deal. They, in the regular season, the last 2 years, are 20-0 against everybody not named Michigan or Ohio State. That's the bar. He knows that. James Franklin knows that. 21-5 record the last 2 seasons, 0-4 against Michigan State, Michigan and Ohio State. And so everything that they do, every change that he makes is not so that they can go be better in the regular season. It's so that they can go attack and win those games.
Allen slops it off. By Garnett Hollis Jr. intended for Trey Wallace. I remember talking to Bobby Bowden one time, and he said, you know, a coach should never stay at a place more than 10 years. I said, why, Coach? And he said, because after 10 years, they stop
After discussion, there is no foul for defensive pass interference. Second down.
This is a good pickup because this flag came out and it looked like they were going to call for defensive pass interference, but we've seen a lot more contact than this get called. And Penn State was the beneficiary of that. Garnett Hollis Jr., he's a guy that transfers in from Northwestern, so a Big Ten guy coming in here to the Big 12 to West Virginia. And they expect him to have a big year. He's 6'1", 201 pounds. And again, on the far side, unfortunately, there's a Mountaineer shaken up. It looks like number 2, Aubrey Burks.
Now, you know how Chris Berman, the great legendary ESPN anchorman, used to have the Swami stuff? Well, you got your version of the Swami.
What's that?
Because these are your predictions.
Oh, there we go. This is the way I see it playing out this year with the 12-team playoff. I think Boise State gets that group of 5 as a conference champ, best 5 conference champs, top 4 get buys. I think Miami wins the ACC. I think Notre Dame, depending what happens tonight against Texas A&M, has a chance to be 1 loss, maybe undefeated. Penn State, to be honest, I just want to see him play a home game in the playoffs. So I was like, they're going to get the 8 seed because I want to see that place. I think it's one of the great environments in all of college football. You Nittany Lion fans know that.
You got Utah and Miami.
Well, remember the top 4 seeds are the top 4 conference champions. So whether Utah and Miami are ranked in the top 4 is
you got them winning their conferences.
I have Utah winning the Big 12. I've got Miami winning the ACC. They would get in the bye at one of those top 4 seeds.
Second down and 10 at the 24. Here's a handoff. He's not out. 2-yard gain.
I like it. Is that Trotter again?
Yes, it was Josiah Trotter.
I like him.
Allen having a hard time getting downhill. Between the tackles, running very good at it. Here's Trotter. Imagine the conversations he has with his dad. Great linebacker in his day in the NFL.
Another injury up there. I think that's Trey Latham, possibly. Yeah, Trey Latham, the middle linebacker.
He was almost ejected for a targeting call a while ago.
So we've been talking about Josiah Trotter. Trey Latham, hopefully it's just maybe a cramp issue here early in the season, because those 2 guys, they feel like their defense is going to take a step forward in the Big 12 because of the speed and athleticism at the second level with Josiah Trotter, number 40, and number 4, Trey Latham. You see right there the change of helmet? I believe that they just put Trotter in a helmet that has the headset, so now he's got the green dot for the coach-to-player communication.
Third down and 8 at the 26. For Drew Allen and Penn State. Trey Wallace in motion. And a timeout called by the Nittany Lions. Their first in the second half.
Timeout. So their first time out of the half. 30 seconds in length.
Well, tonight it's baseball night in America. On Fox as the Braves take on NL East rival Bryce Harper and the Phillies, or it's a battle in the NL Central as the Brew Crew battle the Reds. It all begins tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox. Check the game in your area. Cheerleaders, mascots, fight songs. Great thing about college football, folks. Marching bands.
And NIL dollars.
There you go. And transfer portal. And the Mountaineer. And you know the interesting thing about the Mountaineer, Joel?
What's that?
He will shoot you. If you ever come to a game in West Virginia at night, man, it's the most exciting thing you'll ever see because there are gunshots being fired all over the state. 3rd and 8 at the 26. Allen. Looking, steps up. In trouble. Reverses his field. Buys time. And gets out of bounds. A 5-yard gain, Josiah Trotter giving chase.
I love this Josiah Trotter, man. I'm telling you what, he has got a great motor. And there you see some of that speed that they were talking about. Trotter, first of all, is going to be involved in the rush. He's going to blitz straight up the field here, and now he's spying Drew Aller, and here he is. He's behind him, and there he's just going to get on his horse and go. Come on, number 40, there he goes, and bam, makes the tackle before the line to gain. That is hustle right there. That's what you'd love to see, a guy just pursuing the football.
Penn State punts it away. Preston Fox, the deep man. As Riley Thompson pops it in the air, and it's caught at the 29, a 40-yard punt. Garrett Green returning to the field.
They got to get him going.
They got to get him going. Really tough so far.
He was such a big part of what they did in the run game a year ago. Over 700 yards rushing, and he has just not been able to get loose today at all.
Kept him bottled up. Green drops back, throws under pressure. Great throw and great catch. Nicely done this time, Traylon Ray.
They get a little play action going, and you're going to get Traylon Ray coming over to the right side. He's just going to find a little bit of a hole over the middle. And watch Green as he just continues to backpedal and then buys himself just a bit of time to layer that ball over the linebackers in front of the safeties for a completion.
That was a gain at the 26, 1st and 10 at the 45. West Virginia trying to find a rhythm on offense as they hand it off to White. He'll hit the sideline and pick up 5.
At some point, Green's going to have to make a big play, whether it's a scramble or just on a quarterback run. Maybe it's a read, a design run, but that's the spark that they've been missing all day long. When you watch them on film a year ago, he was just constantly creating first downs with his legs, giving this offense life and energy. You haven't seen that yet today. Maybe we can start to see it here in the waning moments of the 3rd quarter.
2nd and 5 at the Penn State 40-yard line. Green off his back foot. Preston Fox ran a great run. 25-yard pickup.
Go in the middle safe.
And bring him on up, Steve. There's Steve over there. We got a good crew, folks. I love it. 1st and 10 at the 15. Let's see if West Virginia can get in there. White can't turn the corner. And he's swarmed under, led by Dominic DeLuca.
We've got a great crew here at Big Noon Saturday. Obviously, with Jenny and everything that we built over the last few years. Here's Steve back here. There's my guy. He's with me every week and day on the podcast. And I will say, we are without one of our leaders, and that's Chuck McDonald, our normal producer who's dealing with a family tragedy. Chuck, we love you. We can't wait for you to come back. But Mark Titleman, thank you for filling in today. You're doing a tremendous job.
2nd and 15 at the 20. Green in trouble, and that would have to be thrown quickly high. Flag on the play as well. As White leaked out of the backfield, and he was the target.
I am contractually obligated
Offside.
to say which Dewey directed.
Defense, number 11, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So this is their 4th red zone trip today, Gus, but they've only got 6 points to show for it. So we've seen this a few times, right? They've found a little bit of success and rhythm, but what has it usually been? It's been attacking the seams of the defense, getting the ball down the middle of the field in the passing game. What Neil Brown is finding hard is when the field condenses, the speed of the Penn State defense is taking over, and it becomes incredibly difficult to move the ball down there.
2nd and 10 at the 15. Green throws. Incomplete.
Fuck no, nigga!
You see what I'm talking about right here, Gus? Because when the field condenses, you get some man coverage. And so what do? You got to You got to run crossing routes. But there's nowhere to go with the football for Garrett Green. You see some of these crossing routes, they're all bottled up. Now the pass rush is there. You're trying to flip it out to the one-on-one on the outside. And guess what? That's covered as well by Jalen Kimber. This is what that speed does for you on the outside for Penn State.
3rd down and 10 at the 15-yard line. Green in the end zone, high and incomplete. Preston Fox had a step. That one just thrown too high for him, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, if this ball can just be down on his face mask, this is a touchdown because it's an excellent route. He gets a step, but it's just too high. Green has got to drive this ball onto the frame or face mask of Preston Fox. It's probably a touchdown at that point. It was a terrific route run on Elliott Washington.
4th and 10, Neil Brown going for it.
Forced into it, the way that Penn State has played offensively, the chances that they've had here in the red zone. 4th trip, 6 points. Got to get more out of it. Got to get to the seams here. Watch the tight end down the middle.
Mountaineers can still get a 1st down. Here's Green. Tries this ball inside and caught. And a 1st down. West Virginia, a gain of 14. Hudson Clement.
That was quite a throw there, and a terrific adjustment and catch by Hudson Clement. And now they'll bring in Nico Marchiol, the backup quarterback. He is bigger, 6'2", 223. Number 8 is your new quarterback, short yardage specialist here. Look for something to be in this read game, maybe even a quarterback power.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line. For Marchiol. Redshirt sophomore, Chandler, Arizona. Marchiol keeps it, dives forward, and he does not get in. And now Garrett Green back in the game.
Boy, you feel like if you just do that again, you're going to score, but they're going to go back with Garrett Green here at 2nd and goal inside the 1-yard line.
Second and goal at the 1. Play fake. In the end zone. Incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and goal. Traylon Davis was the intended receiver.
Wide open. Green has got to hit Traylon Davis here. Davis does a great job. Watch this. He's going to bluff the end, and then he's out into the flat. And Green, who's just trailing away, he's got to make sure he gets enough on that ball. There's nobody there. Throw it high out to the outside. Let Davis just run underneath it. Huge mistake from Green, brings up a 3rd down.
3rd down and goal at the 1.
If Marchiol would have just stayed in on 2nd down, you got 3 shots at quarterback power, you would have been in by now.
10th play of the drive. They hand it off. I don't know. His knee may have been down. Donaldson, no, they call it a touchdown. So West Virginia punches it in for 6.
Donaldson's got the power. There's the first contact, and he's kind of tripped up by his own player, but does he stay up? Oh boy, that is going to be very difficult. They give him that progress, but it's tough to say where the ball was when that elbow hit.
C.J. Donaldson, 6'2" junior, from Florida, Miami.
The ball is in that right arm, and it's tough to see because of where the ball is at, but look at it, it's actually coming loose, so you can tell that it's down on the forearm, and that's right there where the play is dead.
That is
and you
not
can,
a touchdown.
You can tell his hand's not at the goal line, and therefore you can infer that the ball is not over the goal line.
Donaldson scored a rushing touchdown in 9 straight games last season, and in 10 overall. So they go for it again.
Wow, replay has struggled. They give it to him. Touchdown, this is for 2.
Here's Green in trouble. And he's sacked all the way back at the 20. Tony Rojas. Football is live. And Abdul Carter. The Penn State defense standing strong. 27-12. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. 27-12, Penn State leading West Virginia, but the Mountaineers starting to show signs with 12:49 to play in the fourth. I'll tell you, partner, I didn't think Donaldson got in for that touchdown.
No, he clearly didn't get in. As a blatant mistake by replay. It's the second one of the day that's been a huge mistake by them. But, I mean, that's just the nature of the game, right? That's like, it's the way that it's going to be called. So you just have to move on and go forward. And nice job by the defense to come up big on the 2-point conversion.
This ball fielded at the 25. Penn State will start at their own 30.
Pacific Life Game Summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Well, we had a 2-hour and 19-minute weather delay right at halftime. Finished the entire first half. Delay happened during halftime, and Penn State came out and just ripped off a huge run. Nick Singleton, 40-yard touchdown run. That's his first 40-yard rush of the year. That's that Donaldson touchdown we were just talking about. 1-yard rush. They went for 2, didn't get it, so here we sit at 27-12 in the fourth quarter, and an offense on the field that really, Gus, ever since the start of the second quarter, has been incredibly efficient, and they have scored on the bulk of their series, in large part due to the fact that their quarterback, Drew Aller, has just played fantastic for the last 2 quarters.
He's thrown for 216 yards and 3 touchdowns. Singleton in space. Singleton, a burst! Nick Singleton! And he'll get deep inside of West Virginia territory. Some sensational blocking by the Penn State offensive line. A gain of 41.
This offensive line, Gus, you called it. They are doing work. Watch them get over to the right side, and then Singleton can just pick his lane. Great job getting movement, and then boom, the cutback right there. And once a guy like Singleton gets that much space, watch out, because he's a home run hitter. Again, those 7 rushes of 40 or more yards as a true freshman, that led the country. He didn't have any last year. It's part of the reason why Andy Kotelnicki is here, to create those explosives, and we're seeing them here today.
He's delivering, no doubt about it. As Singleton runs it again. Let me ask you a question, Joel. That last play, was that a zone blocking stream? I felt like I was looking at Terrell Davis.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Is that new?
For them, no. Almost every team is going to have every type of run, zone run, power runs, gap runs, all those different technical terms. And that's just a good old-fashioned zone to the right side. The key to the zone run play, though, is that the offensive line has got a step, kind of gap and a half, and they've got to go on those double teams. And then the back has got to, it's called, Gus, push the front side. Because when you push that front side, it opens up the cutback lane even wider, which he was able to do.
Teach me, my brother. Let me see your student, Nick Singleton, teaching him. Starting to really get it going now. Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
Gus, I loved how honest Nick Singleton was with me this week, saying, look, I'm well aware I did not live up to expectations last year. He said, I have so much to prove. So many people have been doubting me. I promise I put the work in the offseason. I'm ready to go. And Gus, in this new era where players can leave and find other opportunities, he said, I would never leave Penn State. This is a brotherhood. We have something special going with this offense this season. I think we're starting to see a glimpse of it.
All right, second, make that 3rd down and 3 at the 23 for Penn State. Katron Allen back in the game and running back. Allen, throw it, no, he wants the quarterback run. Nice skip ball, stays on his feet, leads forward and picks up the 1st down.
How about the strength? Did you see the stiff arm? Yeah. I believe that was on Trotter, 40 right here. Trotter's going to get off of a block, and then Aller, now it's just a stiff arm right in the face.
And he ran him over.
And he goes right over him for the 1st down. I tell you, he is a, can we just call it like sneaky athletic? You know, he's not going to win a foot race, but you get up and you look, and it's like, boy, he's run for over 40 yards, and a lot of those, Gus, moved the chains. Important runs for Drew Aller.
He's from Medina, Ohio. 1st down and 10 of the 20. Allen, so those Ohio guys are always athletic. Either sneaky or just outright.
You know what I always wanted? Just one time.
What?
One time someone would be like, you know, you're sneaky athletic. I was like, I'll take it. Rather than like, you know, he's a coach on the field.
Right.
You know,
he's a cerebral player.
He's a great leader.
Very good. I'll tell you, this podcast that we're doing is going to be something.
We got to find the name.
That's right. 2nd and 9 in the 19. Now Allen allows Bo Pribula in at quarterback. Pribula will throw it. Touchdown! Wow, what a wrinkle, Tyler Ward. And the big Zamboni is really dialing it up now for Penn State. 33-12, a 19-yard touchdown.
And Gus, this is all about studying the previous year. So watch these linebackers right here for West Virginia. They know, based on film study, that when Pribula is in at quarterback, Penn State runs the ball 80% of the time last year. So what did Andy Kotelnicki do? He took that tendency, and in the first game, he changes it, and he throws the ball with Pribula off of that same run action, and it's a touchdown. What a beautiful play design and call from Kotelnicki. Good execution from Pribula.
Pribula, all of last season, threw it only 21 times with 11 completions. He had 4 touchdown passes. He picks up his first of the season here in State. Here's today's Aflac trivia question, sponsored by Aflac. Get help with expenses. Health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. Here's a question. Who was the last team to win the national championship after being ranked outside the 18 preseason top 5? What do you think, Joel? I know you know the answer.
I think it's Florida State, the Jameis Winston team. Because I'm almost certain all of those Clemson teams, you know, the Sean Watson, they had been to the championship game, and so they had high expectations. I think it's the Jameis Winston Florida State team. Oh no, Joe Burrow! Dang it! Oh, Ma, the meatloaf. I just forget about that team because they were so good. You can't, like, it's, Gus, it's almost unfathomable that they would have been ranked outside of the top 5.
They were so dominant with Joe Burrow.
They were so good.
On his way to the Heisman Trophy, yes.
Man, that's a fail.
First down and 10 of the 25 for West Virginia, down 34-12.
You know, sorry to interrupt, Gus, but you know that team was breaking in a new offensive coordinator with a second-year starter. Joe Brady was a young whippersnapper, creative offensive coordinator.
Here's Green, slide down, picks up the first down.
Here with Penn State, we've got a second-year starter with Drew Aller and a creative new offensive coordinator brought in to bring life to a side of the ball that didn't have life prior. Very similar to that 2019 LSU team.
First down and 10 at the 35. Green lines up down the field, taking a shot. Incomplete. Coverage on the play by Jalen Kimber, intended for Justin Robinson.
When you get 4 flags on one play, you can't come up and like say, what did I do? All 4 of the officials calling this one is
pass interference. Defense number 3, 15-yard penalty and automatic. First down.
Clearly hindering Justin Robinson's ability to go make the catch as Kimber was holding on to that jersey as they were running down the field.
Great sportsmanship by those 2 young men. First and 10 at midfield. Taylor in motion. Green. Penn State has the football. This Penn State defense wreaking havoc.
That rush was Smith Filbert, number 92. He's 6'6", 292 pounds, and he is just flying around the edge. Check this out, 292. Look at that move. He gives it a little dead leg and then goes right after the ball like an experienced defensive end. Denied Dennis Sutton with a little bit of a scoop, trying to get that ball into the end zone. But look at that great job with the length of 6'6", going all the way to that throw side and knocking that ball out of Garrett Green's hands. Tell you what, this defense, Tom Allen, it doesn't seem like they've skipped a beat. Manny Diaz, the former defensive coordinator, now the head coach at Duke. Tom Allen comes in. His standard is, hey, all you got to do is be one of, if not the best defense in college football. That's going to be the standard for the Nittany Lions, and they've certainly played well today.
Penn State has forced West Virginia into 4 fumbles. Mountaineers have lost 2 of those fumbles. Cam Wallace running at that time.
This was really a strength against strength, wasn't it? At least if you look at last year. So, Gus, Penn State had the #1 rush defense in college football last year. West Virginia was the #1 rushing team in the Power 5. You thought to yourself, okay, this run game, you know, they gained over 100 yards on Penn State a year ago. They're probably going to be able to run the football. Neil Brown thought they would be able to run the football, and they have not. You look up at the rushing yards, look at 78 rushing yards for West Virginia.
Now, Gabula in at quarterback. Hands it off. Cam Wallace. Get the feeling that they get a chance to get some extended burn here.
Yeah.
With 7:20 to go.
Well, and especially, you're going to want to get him more extended playing time based on the fact that it's pretty clear they're going to have him in the game quite a bit. I mean, how many times have we seen Purpula in the game taking these snaps, Gus? And if that's going to be their plan moving forward, you know, similar, remember, that kind of reminds me of, remember J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah.
His first year, and he was constantly getting these snaps throughout the year.
Cade McNamara.
He wasn't a starter, but he was getting meaningful snaps, and it seems like that's going to be kind of the goal for both of them.
Runs it this time, picks up the first down and more as he spins down inside the West Virginia 30. Tackled by Garnett Hollis Jr. A 12-yard gain. Purpula got great size. He's a 4-star prospect and the number 6 dual-threat quarterback in his class at Central York High School in Pennsylvania. 2-time Pennsylvania Player of the Year. Threw for 6,000 yards and 75 touchdowns in his final 3 years after having been a receiver as a freshman. His dad, Tad, played football at Shippensburg. Brother Cade was a quarterback at St. Mark. First and 10 of the 28. They'll run the reverse. Here's Wallace. Trey Lathan with the tackle.
What have you been most impressed with Penn State today?
Cohesion, enthusiasm, rhythm,
Yeah.
and harmony. Last year they were clunky. Looks like they were operating the offense in cement.
And to be fair, we saw them in their 2 biggest games, Penn State and Michigan. Certainly looked like that in the guys, you know, the ones that we called. And, you know, they looked like...
How about you? What do you think?
Well, low-key, the O-line was excellent.
Yes.
You know, and like, all the other stuff is really good, but it's kind of like the order of dependency, you know? It's like the quarterback can't do what he does unless the O-line plays well. The running backs can't do what they do unless the O-line plays well. And so everything that Andy Kotelnicki draws up and all of his plans, nothing happens unless the O-line plays well. And replacing 3 guys that are now in the NFL, there was questions around the O-line. I thought they played outstanding.
Here's the option for Bueller, wants to run it, and he's chopped down in the backfield by Josiah Trotter. And when you look at the Big Ten, it's real simple. Michigan proved it last year. The trenches, that's where you win big-time games. Ohio State, they've got it. Michigan, they had it last year. We'll see if they have it this year. Penn State, looks like that offensive line might be just as good, even though they lost 3 guys to the National Football League.
And I'm telling you, the other team that's built like that, and we all sleep on them because they were a Pac-12 team, so we don't think of them as physical. Oregon is going to be really good at the line of scrimmage. And now in the Big Ten, I mean, I tell you, that's an elite league at the top. There's no doubt.
You like Dan Lanning?
Really do. I think he's an excellent coach. I've said this before. If I had to buy stock in a young coach in his first couple of years in his job right now, I would buy stock in Dan Lanning.
Very, very good observation. So would I. 34-12.
West Virginia State believes
So, interesting story with this young man coming into the game to attempt the field goal.
Sahadak, he missed 2 field goals against West Virginia last year. Lost his job. Does he make this one?
No, he doesn't.
He needs confidence. That was a big kick for Penn State.
Kick is no good.
For the future, obviously not for this game, but just in the grand scheme of this season, Sahadak went 0 for 2 from field goals under 40 yards last year against West Virginia. Lost his job to Alex Felkins. Gets a shot here and misses wide right.
Well, they're going to need him down the road. Mid-state schedule. Got Bowling Green next week, then a bye, followed by Kent State. Start Big Ten play with Illinois and UCLA at SC, and so on and so forth.
A big one against Ohio State, obviously. But you can see, like, it's a favorable schedule for this organization.
And the quarterback run coming up. Marchiol pick up the first down. 3:36 and counting.
You know, this West Virginia team has run it for 100 yards. Man, they got a long streak of running it for 100 yards in a game. They might pick it up on this drive.
2nd and 2 at the 37. Here's another run this time. Jalen Anderson pick up a first down. A 5-yard gain.
We would be remiss because we've been speaking a lot about Penn State, how well they played, and rightly so. They did this to West Virginia last year, you know, so their questions still remain. They didn't answer anything definitively today. I think that they showed signs that they could play, change some of those things.
And ball intercepted on the sideline. What a catch. What an interception this time. It's Elliott Washington the second. He went up high and brought it down.
That's incredible. What great coverage. Going back over his right shoulder. He's able to just go up and snatch that one out of the air. Elliott Washington, just a sophomore. I tell you what, man, these guys, they are fast, they are long, they got great players in the secondary and on this defense.
Today's defense, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, now an interception, giving up only 85 rushing yards. A complete performance on offense and defense for the Nittany Lions. And you have to give James Franklin a lot of credit for what he's done.